What's up everybody, I'm TimberBuilds. In this video, I'll be touring your bases from the community. We're going to check out the creativity, break down the designs, share some tips and tricks to make them even better, and of course, I'll be grading them for fun along the way. Want your base featured in future episodes? Just join the TimberBuilds Discord, DM me your Xbox username, and I'll add you as a friend so we can share your world, and I'll show off your bases live to the community. So, whether you're here for inspiration or just to see some epic builds, let's jump right in. Next up, we have Quacker. Their base is located in between the podium, burgle, and the amplifier. Great little spot overall. I think this is a new space. I don't think I've seen anyone build right here, so I think this is a really cool little spot. We've seen some different things in these areas and some really cool stuff in these, but this is a new location. I like how central it is. You're like right next to everything. You also have your ranger post, which is phenomenal. That's probably the worst part about my base is I am nowhere near a ranger station. So you're gonna have really good access to your the fast travel in the future and good central location for all the materials. So it's a very good spot. Naturally, it is now pitch black, so we can't see anything. But honestly, that's fine because the lighting on this base is really well done. I have no clue if this is actually how I'm supposed to enter this base. But looking at this crazy, like, tunnel thing just makes me want to, like, jump in here and get right into it. I definitely love your little entrance. Very unique little kind of design you've got going on here, creating this, like, tunnel space. And very well done. Also, like, super functional in the sense that it also has your jerky racks. That's a really nice little design there. Really good job. I love everyone messing with like Ludorav's triangle pieces and stuff. They're just such nice details. It's like, I love that it's like, instantaneously looking at this base, like I immediately read it as like a bungalow. Like just a really cool raised platform, sort of like a beach house vibe almost. Like even the way the roofing is designed. My little outside decks and stuff. You've got like your storage. Again, super simple with your little ranger station. Probably get into photo mode so we can actually see. Get a sky view of this one. Love that you, like, same way that Rock Me did here, you incorporated the natural elements. So really like the way you did that as well. And like, just created a nice little fortress. Just perfect little safe spot. What are those? How did I not see the grass? Dude, that looks sick. That's a detail I've never seen before, man. That looks really cool with the grass on the top like that. That's a very clever little design, honestly. Very cool. Loving your little detail work here. Even just like the use of like multiple roofing things, and like you even like built in the little structural pieces to make it feel more realistic. It's really well done. Even like here. And again, like the bungalow type beach house sort of vibe with the spider underneath too. You did a really cool job with the structure here. It's a really kind of unique little build design that you have going on. Like not the biggest base in the world, but the details are like packed in a really cool little way. Get up to the top here. You got a basketball hoop. I actually really like how those look showing through the bottom of the roof too. It's like a really subtle detail that you wouldn't necessarily notice, but it's really well done. And you got your little like open sleeping area looking out into the world too. All your function built right into here. Very well done, Quaker.
That hit the spot.
Makes me want to grab a drink and chill in a hammock. Yes, exactly. This is exactly what this base feels like. I love the theming here. I would say is really well done. like small, but like the continuity between using the grass on the roof there and here, as well as like deciding to leave everything open and just kind of like natural, just like continues to like emphasize that the design that you have going on. So I'd say very well done, like in consistency of how you've laid this space out and everything. I think that is, yeah, you even have like roaches up there too. Let's see, turn it back to day a little bit. Actually, let's find a bed. Let's just sleep. Want them to add hammocks? They did have hammocks in the first game. They came a little bit later, but I feel that it's pretty likely that we're going to get some hammocks, so I wouldn't worry too much. There we go. Okay. Well, since we've already looked at everything, I don't think we missed anything. We can kind of just hop straight into the grading here. Show it off during the day so we can see all these details better. Kind of like flying around while I'm doing my talk so we don't have to jump as much. Wow, so first impressions. I love what you've done here. Like the consistency between the design overall is really well done. I know it's hard to go after Rock Me in that massive base, but honestly, I love the contrast between absolutely massive mega builds and then like smaller survival bases, because I think both of them in many ways have so much to offer the community with just clever ideas, because you don't have to build massive bases for like someone like myself to think that they're interesting. I actually really enjoy seeing the smaller bases where like the details are crammed in and just the interesting uses of materials and stuff that you've come up with. Don't think you're here live tonight necessarily, but first impressions, I really enjoy it. You've done a really cool little job here. And to catch the rest of the stream, awesome to see what people have been up to. Sounds good, Grim. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for that, the emote as well. Yeah, it's just consistency throughout the design. Like, first impressions are easy 5. Like, I love that you've made this really compact base that just is so simple, but is packed with fun little details. So very well done on that. The layout and flow, I mean, again, I hate that I always give everyone 5s because it sounds like I'm just like buttering you guys up, but like my honest opinion, like the layout is really good. It's super functional. Everything is like packed into this tight little area. So you got all your crafting materials, all your machinery, everything just is right here. You've even like made fun little decisions to go and put like this, the dew collectors on the outside just to add a little more detail. And I'm guessing you probably aren't cutting these grass pieces down, but at the same time, like they do add more functionality to the base because you have a free source of grass if you want it. Even on top of like this little space, just it's a really fun little layout and like flow to the base for how small it is. It just flows really interestingly. You go to all the different levels. You've got like a fun entry area. You've got your back of house. You got front of house. So it does everything really well. So I'd say very good job. Just super simple, efficient is oftentimes some of the most like remarkable designs. It doesn't have to be insane to be good. Then you've thought about everything really well, the way you've like laid this out to like follow the pre-built paths, which is something that I think is easily overlooked, but you've really done a good job kind of like incorporating these different pieces into it and making just a fun little base. The structure and realism, honestly, this might be my favorite part of this base. Is as an architect, I love seeing like very intentional design decisions where you've done such an interesting job making the structure of this, where you didn't use scaffolding. It would have been really easy to do just scaffold here, but you took the time to kind of figure out the materiality that you liked, and you've stuck with it and created interesting structure out of it as well. And it all feels very, very intentional between like making these corner pieces, like separating these so there's like a gap in between it. It doesn't look too heavy, but it looks like it's legitimately holding this base completely off the ground. And so I'd say like structural and realism is an easy 5, if not a 6 or 7 out of 5, because that's how my grading system works. It's kind of whatever I feel like in the moment. but it works. Like, every little piece is functional. Every little design decision is very intentional. You have like little supports. You've even gone through and like put the supports on top of the roof pieces, so you still get it, but it also adds this like fun depth to the whole build, which I really like. Materiality and aesthetics. Again, 5 out of 5. I love this little bungalow design. I feel like it's super unique in so many ways that I haven't necessarily seen. We've seen some kind of like tiki hut designs with this the thatch roofing and the pine material, and I feel like this is like its own unique take on the materiality of using these different materials, which I think is really successful. And then on top of like using the grass planters is not only like you perfectly line them up, but you even went through the process of growing each one to be the straighter and then the more curved one, which that also takes a lot of time if people don't necessarily know. It takes a lot of time to get these to grow to exactly the ones you want, because you just have to cut them and grow them and cut them and grow them until they're the way you want. So it's like you're really intentional in the way you've done all this. Between these fun little material switches, using the roof, even like filling in the corners with the stairs is a fun little detail that I think is really nice. It's really well done, honestly. Just keep noticing like little things, and even just like you've done a really good job tying in the roof pieces as well. So again, design and materials and aesthetics, 5 on that as well. Functionality, that's easy. I mean, maybe 4 out of 5 on this one, just because I think you could potentially make the functional pieces of your base a more intentional design decision in that, where they work, they're totally fine. I like that you kind of created a slightly more interesting space for your storage of everything. It can be really hard to create enough storage space in a small base like this as well, which I think you've done a good job of, just like fitting everything you need into a small area. But you could push this stuff to be maybe a little bit more integrated into the base and not just kind of placed against the wall. Would be maybe one suggestion I could offer right off the bat. But again, the functionality of it works. The fact that you've designed so well into the ranger station and created this just little like mini fortress space, it really does work well. The creativity and theming, again, 6 out of 5. I love this little bungalow design. I think it's super unique. I love your creativity with like your little like tube that just like it feels like you could stand in the back of this and like launch yourself out of the base for some odd reason. But it just visually is really appealing. In between, again, the grass, the garden planters, I've not seen these like used as a roof structure to make it even more of a kind of a natural base. Like, it just fits so well in this area. Like, it feels so natural that you left all the grass, you really incorporated it into the environment around it. So I think it's really well done on that side too. And I guess if I had to say improvements specifically, one would be going through the inside a little bit more and just a little more detail, bringing like the level of detail that you have on these exterior spots to bring the inside to the level and like match that level of detail, I think would be really cool. Whereas you've done a really good job like tying in the layout and everything where it functions really well. And I really like your like exterior balcony spaces, and like they just tie in. You didn't just decide to put this straight out. Like, I love the decisions that change the elevation of different things. It just creates a slightly more aesthetically pleasing look overall. So I think you've done really good there. The lighting would be the other thing that I think I could recommend, where it's lit well. All the lighting, I think, is very well placed. But I think in terms of like more unique lighting, I think that would make a big difference in the detail level, where mix in maybe a few more colors potentially, I think could make a huge difference here. Just because I find that using one color of light over and over again, they kind of get drowned out and they don't necessarily add the same amount of detail as something when you start popping color here and there. You could get more on the outside. There's a couple base tours we've done recently that did some incredible lighting that you could start kind of incorporating some lighting into maybe these like little arch spaces, or even like underneath these arch spaces to like highlight some of your more interesting design details. And even like this, like kind of fades out with no lighting. So adding more and more light to these areas would look really, really good. And because you've got interesting lighting effects already kind of happening around your base. And so just kind of doubling down and maybe kind of keying into some of these cool lighting features that are already around it would be a big improvement. Because your lighting works, but it could be taken to that next level where it really becomes like an accent to add more and more detail to it. But outside of messing with the interior just a little bit, like at the end of the day it works. But I like that you made like a design decision here, and kind of continuing what you've done here to add more details into these spaces, which could be bringing these out a little bit, putting some designs behind them potentially. You could backlight them again, then you could kind of replicate that design on this side and add in some more of the machinery and stuff, and kind of like incorporate these just a little bit more into the overall design. But I'll be honest, I'm really impressed with this cool little base. I just love these details. Love the way this looks, and I think that's a testament to how well it's designed. Even though it's not the biggest base in the world, it immediately reads as like this bungalow design, and you've kind of continued that throughout the entire thing. You didn't just start with an idea and then abandon it halfway through. Like, it really feels like this was intentional all the way throughout. So I gotta say, I'm impressed with the fun little details here. And just everything looks super interesting. Even like these things are really interesting little design pieces. But yeah, Quacker, thank you for letting me view this base and review it. Awesome designs, really well done, honestly. Just keep it up. I'd love to see other builds you do if you do those, or if you keep adding to this one as well, because I think it's really well done so far. Congrats, good job. All right, next up, we have another Luderav base, another epic creative build for everyone to see. Fun little one, inspired by, now we have multiple bases that have been built here in this abandoned kind of emptied out log. So it's really cool to show off like how inspired everyone is from Action Jackson's. Our very first base review, Action Jackson, has inspired a lot of people with a really cool base location, and I feel like everyone has really taken that as like a challenge to build something really cool in this area. So I really like the challenge, because I think it's a really cool little base location. Between like, we've seen people build out in the center area, we've seen people build in the log, there's some people that have built on top of the log. There's some really cool little locations here, so I'm excited to show off what insanity Luderav has created. Now, take this for a grain of salt. I don't really grade Luderav's bases. We're going to have a really fun time when the video comes out tomorrow for his previous ones, because I just trolled him in the scoring to be funny. So it'll be fun. We just have fun with Luderav's because he doesn't need scores, because we know they're insane. Yes, anyone can play the PTB, by the way. Yes, your base is in the thumbnail. It's insane, Ace. All right, here's the reveal. So, a nice little design here. Luderav went ham on the inside of this design. Honestly, I love seeing the contrast in Luderav's base compared to Action's, because they are so similar and so different in so many ways. I love the way you guys are like completely messing with this, and Luderav stealing my lights and stuff too. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But as Luderav always does, he always has his storytelling. So someone here is looks like they're most likely trying to attack this dude's base, and he's here trying to protect it. Is what my guess of what the story happening here is. But I already love the use of materials that Luderav has here between like grass and pine. Not something we've seen a whole lot of in many ways. So it's really cool to kind of see the contrast and the different materials used. And just nice simple entryway, but the lighting is also structure at the same time. So it looks very good, as always. And Guys, Luderav had way too much fun with this one, honestly. Look at the freaking details in this. Like, Luderav can correct me here. I'm pretty sure that there's more than one grid going on in this little base as well, as you can see right here. So there's some tomfoolery that is that's happening in this base to get this insane amount of detail. Some people might get a little sick from this one. Yeah, he's got 3 grids going, which is insane. I mean, as you can see, these are going down into the floor and stuff. And then it's just detail. I mean, like, people sitting, chilling in front of a fire, all the details done, just the little lighting effects. It's just lit up so well. Even like this. I saw these earlier, Lude. These are incredible. It's such a fun way to, like, take a lamppost that we all kind of have designed together now and then somehow incorporate them as the same design but also structure for this, which I think is a really fun little kind of way to switch it up. And somehow you manage to get a little chandelier designed into the smallest base I've ever seen. This thing is ridiculous. Like, look, it just goes. It's everywhere. There's so much happening in such a small space. Again, love that. Really cool little detail here with like the squiggles. I'm just trying to like catch everything. And for those who haven't, who are excited, this is gonna be exciting. Luderav made a toilet. Literally made a toilet. Like, he spares no detail. It's literally an actual toilet. Like, you can't even screw this up. It's an actual bathroom right now. Like, this is what I love about Luderav's brain. Is like, my brain has, I made an outhouse. I made one outhouse in Grounded 1. And Luderav's in here, like, building legit homes with not only fireplaces and kitchens, the tables for everyone. Like, you've got like a legit kitchen here. But there's an actual bathroom, like, with someone sitting on it, too. It's just so creative. Every single time. I'm just blown away. Every time. And like the fun little details, like everywhere. It's just detail, detail, detail. Everywhere you go. As I always say, this is the level of detail that people should be aspiring to. Not necessarily getting to. This level of detail is incredibly difficult to get to, but if you can get to this amount of detail, dude, even this is better than the downstairs one because the grass like sticks through. Just like the utilizing everything at like all the tools in your tool belt is what I always see Luderav doing such a good job of. He's found fun ways to design in the lights. Again, more structure, just really good lighting overall. Little one for people. Now, we don't have these because this is creative, so we don't have the little candles and stuff quite yet, but I hope soon, because it looks epic. And love like that you can see into the other areas from these, and you can't even get to the upper area on that side. You have to go somewhere else. If I can figure out how to navigate through this place. I think that's what always amazes me, is the level of detail, and like it's always a maze. It literally, all of your bases feel like a crazy maze, no matter how big or small they are. They somehow always manage to, I get totally lost in them somehow every time. I love the way you've divided up these interior spaces. Like, it's really well done. Even like these lighting, the little lamps are really cool. Once again, Luderav, inspiring a generation of builders in new and amazing ways every time. Little bee stinger wall-mounted zip lines made the perfect toilet paper in Grounded 1. Ooh, that's a good idea too. Up on my log build, but that was when it first came out. Yeah. Yeah, not expecting the chandelier. Took your love of spiral stairs and cut them in half. I only dislike spiral stairs when it's like 20 of them, so it's just up and 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 up. But this, I want a half spiral staircase. That would be so nice. They look so much better, and they're so much more useful like this than they are on the full spiral staircase. But again, in the fact that you didn't just use one staircase, like you've done multiple staircases. just, once again, just the level of detail. Even just like the way these entrances work and like the little lighting things that I don't even notice right off the bat. I feel like I could spend 2 hours in here and find little details that I've missed every single time. But yes, once again, to the vote, the grading on Ludoravs, which is maybe a little more fun and a little less useful for most people. But first impressions, as always, Lude, 5 out of 5, man. The detail that you manage to get into these spaces and how much fun you have with it, too, I think is what's the best part. It's never just like rinse and repeat, oh, let me do something I've done before. They're always so unique and different in every way, where you've always found a way to somehow create something totally new where I wouldn't expect it. From inspiration from another really good base as well. So very well done. 5 out of 5 on the first impressions. The layout and flow. Honestly, I think this is one of my more favorite ones because it's so small and like exploring it is fun. I think that's what I like most about it, is that it feels like this like professionally designed home that's like super custom and super unique, and it's really interesting just to kind of explore and not have everything just connected as if it's a big tube where you've divided the spaces and you can still see into the other spaces, and it automatically creates this feeling of like, wait, how do I get up there? How do I get over here? And you just kind of have to like explore, and you never quite know what the next space has to show you. And you got some grubs. Can I get him? No. So again, layout and flow might be one of my favorite ones. And I want to give you a 5 out of it. You're always like, it's always crazy mazes and stuff, but I don't, something about this space specifically, I just really enjoy running around and like the creativity, especially because you have multiple grids as well. The structure and realism, I mean, it feels like a house, man. It really does. Like, it feels like a perfect house. And like the utilizing of the log as well, like some of the other bases, the realism, maybe even more, it's too realistic now. Like, it feels like an actual house. Like, I have to give you 100% on this one, because it's an actual home. Like, it has all the things that you want in a house. Between the cozy little spaces to the bathroom, it flows. It feels really good. The actual bathroom, or the actual like bedroom and everything, like it's super cozy. It's very, very well laid out and created. And like the way you've divided the spaces even as well, like just to kind of slightly separate them, just enough to keep you intrigued to want to keep walking through. It's like, just makes it more and more realistic in my eyes. Yeah, definitely hit homey vibe very well. The materials and aesthetics, again, the materials, I absolutely love how you've taken the triangles here and now implemented it with the grass as well. We haven't really seen the grass, and it really keeps it interesting. I mean, visually it's a little overwhelming for some, I would assume, but I really enjoy the way you've utilized these pieces together in another unique, interesting way. Your materiality is an easy 5 out of 5 on this one again. I'll give you a 4 out of 5 for stealing my light design, though. And then the functionality, like, it's in terms of a home, like it's a 5. Like, it literally is a home. Like, I keep saying this, but it's like it functions exactly as a home as you designed it. It feels like a home. It works like a home. It's not necessarily a base that someone's going to be like, oh, I'm playing survival in a game. But like the function was that it looks like a house. It functions like a house. And it accomplishes it, as always. Like, the story that you're trying to tell has been told to a T every time. Yeah, I can't tell if he's making the bed, or at this angle it kind of looks like he's peeing on the bed. You tell us what he's doing. Is that vandalism? Oh, and then the creativity, again, 10 out of 5 all day long. It just, the bathroom, I'm going to give you A 5 out of 5 on the creativity. I'm gonna give you a 10 out of 5 on the bathroom though, because I freaking love this. When I saw this, I may have taken a little sneak peek. I freaking loved when I walked in here and saw this bathroom. I was like, this dude, you got like your toilet paper or whatever. I was like, so love it. Definitely making the bed. All right, he's 100% peeing on the bed. But oh man, the creativity every time. And now that you're like, I should never have taught you how to build off grid, man. Like you're getting too good at it already. It feels so natural. Like you'd never know that this was off grid other than like this. I think this is the only place that I can actually see that this was built off grid in even the slightest amount. It just feels like a cohesive build where everything's on one grid. Yeah, I don't know. I'm always impressed how you can cram this much detail into such a small space, as always. And improvements-wise, the only improvement that I could make is that you said this guy is making the bed. I think he should be peeing on the bed. Or you need, every once in a while, you should switch this figure to that position and then standing and peeing. Oh god, what have I done? Oh, Ludorev, you're killing me, man. Fun as always, man. Gotta say, if you guys can't get inspired by some of the crazy stuff Ludorev does, I love showing his bases off, not because they are things that most people are gonna build in this game, but like you can't help but find interesting design like ideas in every single build that Ludorev does. Everyone can look at one of his bases and find something unique and interesting that they'll be able to add to their build, even if it's not necessarily to the same level of detail and everything. But once again, Ludorev, thank you, man. Thank you so much for letting me view these bases and continuing to build the little ones for us to show off and stream for these base reviews, because I think it creates a really nice mix of what is possible. It isn't all just massive builds. Like, you can make really cool builds in Grounded at a really, really small scale. I mean, this is one of the smaller bases we've even seen, and it has so much going on. But yes, thank you again one more time for continually building cool things for us to review and show off to the community and hopefully inspire more and more people. Next up, we have Doran's base. This one is located sort of on the rock in between this area. They also have a massive bridge that goes all the way over here that we just ran all the way across, which was insane, which is this whole thing. Love this base location. Super central, works really well. Trying to get a little closer so it loads in first before showing it all off. Love that you've like this is a lot of effort to get all this built out. Back it up, Terry. Back it up. What you doing? All right. Look at this. This thing is awesome. And I didn't even know it had this massive promenade all the way throughout the whole thing, which is even cooler. It's a very cool little entrance. But we'll show off the main entrance that I had seen that I really liked the effect of. Just have a nice little space here. I had never even noticed this cool little rock formation as well. Like, it's a really cool little spot. You got your little function and everything.
Slices, but it's drinkable.
Some epic stairs to get you all the way up.
Function over fashion, Willow.
And we're going down. Really cool little entrance. This looks really nice. It's so simple, but elegant at the same time. You got your main area. Love that this is all just kind of an enclosed little castle, essentially. Which, like, your use of material is really interesting as well. Got all your function and stuff out here. These are really well done, too. Super clean. Very clean. Even just, like, dropping these down as well to make these, oh, that's not an actual mic. Your water dew collectors and everything looks really cool. Let's go up top. I love these little towers that you didn't just do one thickness as well, which I really appreciate and like. I think it's often overlooked doing double thick walls in areas to add more and more detail in. That's why I appreciate the depth that you put into like this inner area here. Looks very nice. And it creates a really nice just outer space. Very clean. Aesthetically pleasing, I would say. Good stem harvest spot. Yeah, it's a really good little spot for a base overall. Super safe. Made it very difficult to get attacked or anything. I love that your house is like raised up on the center of the rock as well. Is that a bee? Just a bee chilling in there. Also like the pebblet paths as well. These look cool. Just nice little details. Raising up, like all your pallet storage is done really well. Super clean. Really effective. You showed these earlier, I think. Love like the floating effect that you've created. If you're not a part of the Discord, they were discussing how these are floating. They look really nice though. I don't know. It makes them not look as cluttered. It's very clean. I think is a very nice part of this base overall. And I love just the center. Like you're straight up to it. Here's your massive house, right on the rock and everything. Good job on the window details as well. I love the little addition there and like utilizing some different things. Stepping these in and out is also a really nice little detail. What are you doing in here? This looks clean. Well, there's a nook behind the stems. Oh yeah, dude, very well done. This is one of the cleaner bases. This is a little more my style of like symmetry and design, which I really appreciate. I love the chaos builds because it's so like counterintuitive to the way my brain thinks. But I really enjoy like how clean aesthetically. It's simple. Everything's just done like really intentionally. It works really well. It's all in like the little details that you're finding. You're still finding a way to have like fun little spaces hidden into this design as well. This looks so clean. Just so clean with the carpets, the pebble around the edge. One thing I think you could potentially do is try to underlight this. I've seen a couple pebblet paths like this lit up from the underside, and it looks really, really nice. It would add a really cool glow to this room. But again, it could look really nice at night already anyways. Definitely clean. It's just so nice. Again, clean. I love the grass here. I am not a fan of grass typically. This looks really nice in the center here. This is a really well-designed space as well, Doran. Like, very well thought out. I love the like architectural details, like stepping these pieces in and out to make for a way more interesting interior space overall, which I think is really, really cool. I love the like half mezzanine type area to add in just a little bit more detail without covering up the lower floor and still letting it be like a 2-story space. Makes the overall size of the build feel a lot bigger, which I'm a big fan of. Even just utilizing that as your way to get up is really nice too. And again, Loving though just the little detail. It's very clean. Even just like this little doorway arch is very cool. Again, everyone using the pillow design. This is so good. Love that everyone's picking up on these designs and finding their own way to use them in their bases and stuff. Very well done. It's so simple and elegant. A lot of what we've seen is more chaotic, kind of fun, crazy builds that sort of do anything and everything, and they just happen. Whereas this is like incredibly intentional from the way you've laid out just the lighting on the floor, the way you've done the grass looks very clean with the vertical half walls as well, not using just like a big wall here, just like breaking it up a little bit. It's very well done. It also ties really well into the little grass additions that you've added. So very interesting. Gotta say, very clean little base. You have a lot of potential for like filling up all this exterior space as well. It's like you've not only given yourself enough space to build a cool base, but you have room to expand and grow upon things as well. You got all sorts of fun little spaces that you just kind of like happen on. I just like happen to come upon these cool little staircases. So you've done a really good job using the vertical access as well. I think that's like ties in very well. It's a really good way to like get in and out of this base consistently without making it super obvious, like building gates everywhere. They're like tie into using, they're not just towers for more towers because that's what you started with. You like intentionally made the towers a specific piece of the design, and they're functional in their own way. Each one is a little bit different the way it's used. Some of them go up, some of them go down. Like you've really thought through the way you like traverse through the space, which I think is really cool. Very well done. How do I show my base? It's in the description of the stream in there. You just have to DM me on Discord and send me your Xbox username, and I will get you added to the list and added as a friend on Xbox. There's one more build on the open area in front of the statue. Let's go check it out. This one? Oh, yes. Yes, this was also really cool. I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Hello? Get this buggy. My water. There he is.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I love this base as well. I've not ran into that yet. The aquarium, it's the actual terrarium. The, where'd it go? This? This is a terrarium. This is where the new boss that's being added on the 30th escaped from. It even says his name on it. Where'd I go? I'm lost. Thank you for building a little way up. Yes, this is their Doran's little greenhouse. Or definitely not little. I absolutely love this. I know this is like super simple, not the most complicated build, but it literally feels like a massive greenhouse. Like I love the way you've kind of created windows without actually creating windows. Done a really good job making the structure as well, and it's like the perfect spot for this kind of stuff. Even I loved this, and it's like you're not only cheating the system by using the stem to get these to place properly, so you get functionality where you shouldn't be able to place these, but it looks really cool as well. Like super, again, clean. Such a clean build. Just every part of this feels so intentionally done. It's even it's like, it's not the craziest thing you've ever seen, but it just is so clean. Hello, Matthias. Welcome in. Yeah, even that. It's a fun little ramp piece. Just like the little attention to detail, I think, is what really takes your bases to a very cool level of design. So simple, but so clean. Even down to like utilizing these pieces just to kind of create slightly more structure and switching it up in the spots where like these things come down. Making these quarter wall thick looks really good. You have a really good understanding of just like clean, good design decisions that I'm a fan of. I do really like it. Okay, now let's go back to the other base and talk about the scores. In terms of the scores, gotta say the first impressions, it is super well done. Like, I'm happy to give you a 5 out of 5 because I loved entering from this ridiculous like promenade thing you've made that goes all the way from past the picnic table over to like the spiderweb area, like commitment. It's just a really fun structure, like design. Like, you've done a really good job of making it look unique and interesting. And it's not just like copy and paste. Like, you've made really intentional design decisions to kind of create this really interesting effect. And it's even down to like angling pieces in and out. Like, there's a lot of really good depth used in terms of like the architectural elements that I really like. And just the overall base itself just feels really interesting. It's super unique. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of like castle exterior, but with this more like house design in the center of it, which I think is really fun. And it makes it really draws like your eye to this, which is your base. Like, it really does a good job of like orienting you and pushing you to like the main feature, which I think is really cool. The layout and flow, dude, 5 out of 5, easy. I absolutely love the way you have utilized these towers as they're different. Oftentimes it's so easy to just repeat a bounce web or a spiral staircase in these, where you have half of them go up to the top, half of them are going like they can go up or they go down to another way to get in and out of the base. You can walk all the way to the top and go all the way around. The interior is just so simple and clean. It's obvious. Everything works like exactly as it's intended. So I really like the way this base flows and how you've kind of created these intentional decisions where you haven't just gone with the easy route. You switched it up and made each one sort of function in a way that's not just the same thing repeated, 8 times for an octagon. Like, it'd be so easy to just make these copy and paste all the way around. So the fact that they kind of each do their own thing and they lead you out to like your different exits and entrances and stuff is really well done. The structure and realism, again, it's just really well done, honestly. Especially when you talk about like the structure of your greenhouse design is really, really well done. I loved the use of pine to sort of create larger columns that go all the way down into the structure and connect to these little things. And it's like, it feels just like a greenhouse. So that, even though it's maybe a more simple design with a really big open space, it feels like you're walking through a garden center. Like, when you go out and you go to a garden center, like it really does give that effect. So it's a really good like mix of realism and then also making like a unique design out of it as well. Especially because I honestly don't think I've seen a house like supported right in the center, and it feels like the structure of these towers really fit on the rock here. Like, it feels like something a medieval castle would really do is they'd pick a really high vantage point and use that as something to build off of to create a more fortified space. So it does work really well and uses some interesting kind of realistic visual designs to sort of create a really nice effect. The materials and aesthetics, I honestly love it. I really like that you've kind of switched up and created some layering that kind of follows through the whole base. It's really easy to just do one massive tower out of stem, and it just always feels like heavy. It ends up being too repetitive, and so you've done a really nice job like creating more structure here as well that fits, and it visually breaks things up and also creates just more interesting designs overall. So again, 5 on your aesthetics, especially the house, I think is really well done. And I'd say comparatively to most builds, this is so clean. It's just simple. Everything's placed like meticulously perfect. There's not one blade of grass out of place. Everything you've done here is like perfectly lined up. And that's something that like my OCD designer I absolutely love this visual. It's really well done. And you've also, with the materials, you've switched it up really well. Like utilizing the grass pieces as a way to highlight the windows is a really great little design decision. Love the fact that you've added so much depth. That's one of my biggest things that I try to harp into like my top 10 tips to build better is depth. Use different materials and depth. Don't think of a wall as one stem wall. It's because realistically in an actual house, you have an exterior wall, you have insulation, and then you have an interior wall, and those are different materials. And so if you can stay away from using just a flat wall, I think exactly like what you've done here is they're not these like massive decisions, but it just adds just that little bit extra in terms of detail that I think take this from what would be a good base design to something I really think is visually pleasing overall. Is it's just clean. Everything is clean. Is the way I'm gonna give you a clean out of 5. But on top of that, like I really enjoy the like 2 double level space here as well. It just makes for such a nice interior space overall. I think a lot of people could start utilizing this sort of design, like a mezzanine level, to sort of add more detail and not make their bases just feel like a wedding cake that's just a floor and a floor and a floor and a floor and a floor. It allows you to add more space and add more details like your bedroom, but also not take away from what you've already designed, which I think is really cool. And again, clean. Clean, clean, clean. Functionality is an easy 5. Everything it's so condensed. It's all right here. You have everything you need. Everything's functioning perfectly. You have all of your pallets and everything really cleanly laid out. You like even just making the decision to raise these up a little bit like adds just that little extra piece of detail that I think is easily missed, that I really enjoy, and I think it takes the design just a little bit further to kind of create these really intentional little design decisions just to make we've all kind of started doing the jerky racks and then placing things underneath, but you've taken it just one step further with these little decisions to make these really, really intentional that I'm a big fan of. So yes, functionality is another 5 on that one. The creativity and theming. I think your creativity is awesome. The theme is really interesting. It's sort of like a unique tiered building where it steps outwards, which I think is a little more unique compared to a lot of builds. A lot of times they step inwards and stuff. Like I like that yours is kind of growing outwards and the roof is overhanging, and then you've made intentional decisions to kind of tier those out to cover these the balconies, which look really nice. So like creatively, it's really well done. It's not necessarily like trying to do too much. Whereas like Luderav, as he would say, he tends to go a little too far in the details sometimes because that's where he has a lot of fun. Whereas I can also really appreciate just how clean and simple your design decisions are here. So you're, again, another 5 on the creativity, especially like not forgetting the greenhouse, because I think that's a really clean, unique design as well. That immediately reads as what it is. It reads as like a greenhouse or like garden space. And your fortress and everything also read very well. So very well done on the creativity and the theming of that. In terms of improvements, hard to give improvements on these bases that are done really well. I will say, you guys challenge me to critique a lot of the times. If I had to give anything in terms of suggestions, lighting is my #1 thing that I can think of right now. I think the only thing that's currently lacking in this is that level of lighting to start highlighting some of these details that you've done. Whether, like, looking back at Ludorav's base we just did, like, lighting on the inside of these a little bit to create just a little more contrast, I think would go a long way. Because I really enjoy the materials, and as you can really see here where this lighting effect starts really drawing your attention to, like, the stuffed bug, your little structural pieces, these as well. And I think I want more lighting, I think is what's really going to take this build from just incredibly clean, well-designed. Your detailing is awesome. I think if you took this level of care into the rest of the lighting, it's perfect. It would be absolutely incredible. I think maybe backlighting some of these things could be an interesting way to do that, where you've got sort of double thick walls here and stuff. You could maybe light some of these. The interior lighting honestly feels good. It's more maybe exterior lighting than anything, because the insides feel properly lit. They're really clean, but I want to see this level of lighting on the outside now, I think is what takes this from like a 9 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 on a base. I could see some cool lighting, like maybe hanging from here on these edges, or even if it's just like lighting out, like placing lighting here or in these little areas, just little pops, just little tiny pops of light, I think would really kind of perfect this base overall. And like, you have all the interesting, like how you've done here, where the green looks really nice with this promenade. That's like, you've even taken the time to do the little squares. Like, it's not even just full pieces, like you've broken it all up, taking this level of care to the lighting and the rest of the base, and it's phenomenal. Like, I could see these each tower lighting up more and sort of glowing, and then maybe the towers are where the lighting kind of like really pops and blows up everything, and then this sort of has a little less lighting where it starts framing this really interesting build, and maybe even like lighting more around this like lower area, finding a way to kind of like create some interesting lighting effects in these spots, so it kind of pops the overall design here, and then maybe you don't ruin the like clean aesthetic that you have of the exterior here, but like interior lighting on these towers and like under lighting could be really interesting, like taking these apart and putting lights like on the inside of these bridges so they glow a little bit more, I think would take this base to like the final boss level. And then the more lights you put on the inside too, the more it glows through and pops this green as well, which is one of my favorite things about how the green looks with this. So if you find a way to maybe light these up a little bit too, it could sort of give that like homey feel where you walk by someone's house and you can see their TV in the background and the lights shining through the windows, and just add just a tiny bit more detail. Because other than that, I mean, the detail's good. You've messed with like a good level of materiality. Nothing's super flat. There's not huge, big, empty walls. You've broken everything up really well, in terms of not just having like a repeated thing over and over, just pine or just stems. Like you've broken up the levels. You've broken up the significant details. They're all sort of interestingly done. So that last bit of lighting, I think, takes this to an insane level. And I think, I don't necessarily know, so take this with a grain of salt, how much this is lit up, but seeing that thing glow at night, I think would be honestly incredible. I think it'd be really, really cool. But yes, once again, Doran, thank you for letting me review this base. Honestly, super creative, super unique. I'm really impressed. Everyone tonight. Not that there's any bases we viewed that are not good in our base reviews, but man, tonight you guys are killing it. These bases are really, really cool. And just enough that I can like offer little tips, but honestly, so much of this is done so well that there's very little that I can comment on in terms of what I would improve or change, because you guys are doing a really, really good job in the designs. All right, next up we have Ace. This is going to be a re-review of a base, but honestly, I don't even know if it's a re-review. Like Ace, it's totally different. I think this is such an incredible improvement overall. You took so much to heart about what we talked about to change and add to the original design, that I'm like, I've done a little bit of searching around in this base already, and so much of what I suggested has been taken to heart and added here, but in very unique ways, not just like copy and paste for what I suggested, and like really creative additions overall. I'm assuming, yes, the left one, because you're not quite done with the right. But even just the additions here, like adding in the lamppost that we've all been working on now, like I love that. You're working on like fun little chandelier type designs, which I think are really cool. I really like this as an addition to, like, I already really liked your little your ramp or staircase, but what you've done to it now is you've taken it to such a fun level of detail. Like, the lighting here is so well done. Like, super cool. The little details with the gardens. You've got, like, your own little tables and stuff now. Like, so much additional detail where none of this was covered previously. That's 2 grids right here. Interesting. Everyone's on the grid game now, too. Honestly, it's so clean, I don't even really notice where your grids are coming in. I have no clue. I honestly don't know where you've added in the other grid at the moment. This all looks pretty much the same. Like it's built on one normal grid. Like that? I don't know. I can't figure it out. That's how you know off-grid building has been done right. That I literally cannot tell. I mean, maybe this, but that all looks right. Yeah, that looks the same. I don't know. Even like you've got like your red carpet entryway here too, with the not finished sprig, so you can actually walk through it still, is really fun. Yes, I really like this lighting effect too. Looks really nice. The lighting is one of those things you've taken to another level, which looks really good. Very well done. Check it out. Make sure we don't miss anything, because it looks really cool. Even like this. Like the level of detail now that you've had, like you've added this entire exterior wall that looks really good. I love the turret designs as well. They look really, really nice. Welcome, Knife. I missed you, man. Hope you're doing good. No worries. Appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. Again, even this, like all the little details here, Ace, really cool, really well done. This was all exterior, this was all open. All of these were in just kind of like open air structures. And you've done a really fun little addition here, like got like little tent kind of hut designs for your buggies. This is really well done. Again, like utilizing, you already had all of this done really well, like for all your storage and stuff to be completely stored underneath and hidden. And now to add like even more functionality to put your little buggy houses down here as well, like it makes the function overall even better, which I really like. And I love that they're completely hidden down here, but they're also like part of the design on the other side. So you're not just looking at one side, you're designing from every angle, which I think is really cool. I love that you're like expanding these walls out, like making these turrets really well designed in. I love the mushrooms is like a little additional detail as well. And I love that you kind of like made these little enclosed rooms now as well. Really excited to see that design, like once you finished it down there. I noticed those as well. So very, very cool. The lighting as well, like you've taken your lighting to another level, which is really good. And even like utilizing these as extra little design pieces, but also more functionality and everything. I think we can just... Lots. So many things. I love these little rooms. This is exactly, in many ways, exactly what I was kind of thinking of additions, like making those little like huts, little covered spaces and stuff that I really like. And even I'm really interested to see how this all turns out as well. Really well done. I like that these all kind of switched up. These are really nice, small details, but to like hide these in are really cool. I'm really excited to see kind of all this finished up. You're upgrading your PC this Friday, getting the rest of the parts. Nice. That's so awesome, man. Congrats. That'll be fun. Again, love your little entryway. I love that you didn't necessarily mess with that too much. Didn't do anything too crazy. Trying to make sure. It looks like all of this is roughly the same, but you're kind of like expanding upon these, which I think is a great addition. I'm not sure how much of that was actually here. I think some of it was. And I'm standing on 2 grids. I have no clue where you're placing these grids, honestly. I have no clue. I don't see the seams whatsoever. Is it? I think it's this. Is this just slightly higher, maybe? I don't know. I can't tell. That's how well you've done it. I have no clue. It all looks like one cohesive grid, so visually I don't notice it all. Unless it's like a little bit of that, but I don't know. Great job on hiding the grids as well. And again, like, I like that you're adding more of these and you're adding them all the way to the ground. It really helps, since this build is sort of up off the ground already, it helps kind of ground it down really well, which I like. And even like, I like that you're adding little more details to the outside as well. I think looks really nice. Even I think this changed a little bit, didn't it? Kind of like your heart design from the sides, but taken to a slightly larger scale, which I really like. And the fact that you've done, which not enough people have messed with, is this depth where you're leaving open spaces with a wall behind it. I think looks really nice, especially if you get, let's see what the lighting's like on that. Yeah. So again, you're lighting down on these levels. Well, I mean, obviously you've been working tirelessly getting all of this lighting in. I can't wait to see this level of lighting. I mean, this is phenomenal. This is exactly what I'm talking about with lighting. Like, breaking up really repetitive things with interesting lights, I think is really, really cool. You're not afraid to go from like a red to blues and greens and purples. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a rainbow to be good, but I really like how you're utilizing these to highlight the materials as well. And I think, again, the entrance and stuff is just, it's even better than it was. And it was already really cool because you've really messed with the depth and the openness of these spaces. So I think it's really cool to see these like kind of continue to evolve and change, because I think that's even a little bit different from the first time. And getting these details in, and then once you get these replicated around, and like that adds even more verticality to the whole thing, I think is really, really cool. And the inside, I took a sneak peek, and it is such a good improvement. And there was nothing wrong with them in the first place, but you really took to heart, like, making this so much more interesting in so many, and not in ways that I didn't necessarily think it could get a whole lot more interesting, if I'm being honest. Like, I was just saying, add a couple stairs, like make a more designed staircase. This is so much better than the staircase I laid out during your stream when I was doing your original base review. Like, this is exactly, in a completely different way than I described it, this is exactly what I thought this base needed. This looks so good. Just like the little details, you've added in so many cool little structural pieces. Here, the stairs look phenomenal. The fact that you've got like different, you didn't just build this stair around, like you've made really, really cool, like little intentional decisions to like separate those stairs and mirror them. And then you're also adding in even more to it. I actually like tripled down on your heart design, which I think is even cooler now. I already liked the heart design, and I think a lot of people on YouTube had left comments specifically on how they liked and how they noticed this little heart design. And the fact that you've like now you've incorporated it even further, I think those are the decisions I really, really, really like to see as a designer, where you make one decision and you find a way to like fully embrace that decision and take that design to like its fullest extent, which I think is really well done. See you later, Knife. Thanks for hanging out and hanging out for a little bit, man. Hope you're doing wonderful. Tell the wifey hi. Also, Ace, like, I'm gonna keep saying it, I love the changes you've made here. This looks so nice. You now have like your own bed and everything, like it's even more functional as a whole. I love that this is like its own little like space, and you've really, instead of just copying this side, you've now bumped this whole thing out, and it's just so much more useful. The space is like very intentional, where you've got these cool corridors. There's different kind of spaces. You're always just walking into something new, which I think is really, really cool. And your storage and everything was already good, but the circular storage is so cool. I love the fridges and stuff. It's gonna look, when these are all built out, it's gonna look so nice. And then the lighting on the inside is gonna pop even more. Like your lighting has exponentially increased. It was already really good. Like I could see the potential of the whole thing with the way you were doing your chandelier and stuff, and now it's somehow gotten even better. So it's really, really interesting and well done. And I love like the roofs here to add more structure and detail, where it's not just one little piece that you added. And then not only have you used these stairs to create a more interesting design, but now you have like even more unique spaces that you can fill in as time goes on, which I think is really cool. This is not creative. This is survival, as far as I know. Ace can confirm, but I'm pretty sure this is all survival. Really, really good additions, though. I love the way this frames this heart design, and like you've literally tripled down on that heart, and I love that design decision. Even like leaving these open, I think all these were kind of closed because these were like armor stands and weapon stands and stuff. It's even better, honestly. Really cool. I love those little designs. Really happy with how this is it's opened it all up. It was just kind of like an upper deck that it looked really nice, but it just feels so much more. You put so much effort into adding detail to this. Survival, yeah. All survival. And again, even this. Really cool little detail. It's those things, like, they don't do anything, but there's something interesting happening here, and I don't necessarily know why, but I really like it. And actually, you've quadrupled down on your heart designs. So well done. This is exactly... These are exactly what people should be paying attention to, is when you find something interesting, you stick to it. Like, you continue that pattern through repetition, but it's also different. It's not just another heart. Like, you found an interesting way to sort of change it in every area you've used it, where now you have like slightly different structural pieces. The upstairs now is done. None of this was even built previously. It was I think it was open structure all throughout the middle. So the fact like this is all new. You have like an upstairs bar. This is what I'm seeing here. This looks like an incredible rooftop bar. Really well done. Again, the creativity of this, and like you've got the functional pieces of dew collectors and your fridges and everything, but they're all like utilized really creatively. And like this is the dream bar. Like I could sit in here all day and have drinks, and I absolutely want to. It's just really well done. Oh, even up there. Again, just the attention to detail was well done the first go around, but you've done a really, really good job taking this to that next level. I think that's what's so exciting about being able to re-review some people's bases after they've spent some time, is like the improvements on this are astronomical. It's just, you took everything you did and you bumped it up. You took it all to another level in a really, really cool way. Even like all the little spaces. It's not even just copy paste on one side to the other, like you've switched it up there as well. And man, it feels just like a little rooftop bar. Even like these are fun little designs too. Like, yeah, you've really embraced the interesting concepts of like using the different materials here and flipping them back and forth to add more detail has like been translated into every single piece of your build. It's really well done. Let me know if I missed anything else that you wanted to show off. You said something in the other side straights roof have more design details and lights. Thinking that? Is that what I was missing? Thank you for doing my base, Timber, and everyone. I'm gonna work on my base some more. Sounds good, Rock Me. Have a great rest of your night, man. Appreciate you letting us show it off. It was really cool. Very impressive. Josue, welcome. Did I miss anything else? These look so good lit up too. The fact that that like glows like that looks so nice. Showed everything? Perfect. Thought so. So well done. All right. Let's put it through the grading. As this is sort of an updated base tour, I might think of this one a little bit differently. Since we've already graded it once, I mostly want to talk about the improvements. Just because there's so many. I mean, all the details and designs on the exterior wall were phenomenal the first go around, and the fact that you've managed to make it even better than it was. It went from, this is a really cool base, like this has so much potential, to like it is a totally different scale of build now that you've done. The detailing is a different level. The fact that you enclosed all of this, I believe we talked about lighting, like your lighting now is on a totally different level. I really, really enjoy the way you've upgraded the lighting on this, and like your epic entrance was already one of my favorite details, But the fact that now there's all the roofing and like there's lights totally filling this entire area is such a good improvement. And even like the lighting changes as you go up as well. You've really done a good job improving the lighting from the first time. And the cohesiveness, I think, is another thing that you've done so well on the updates to this, where everything that I was like, these are my favorite things, you've somehow changed it from what it originally was to something totally new and different, but it's also exactly the same, if that makes sense, where some of your more interesting design decisions, bringing the hearts as a larger piece of the design, I think is really, really cool improvements overall. And yeah, you're saying this is floating, and I don't know how you're doing that. All the details, and I mean, not everything's built and stuff, so you don't even get the full effect, and it looks so nice. The staircases are phenomenal. They are such a big improvement. Like, they add so much detail to this base overall. I'm a really big fan of how you've detailed this out and like utilize these fun little details, connecting these things in, but not just sticking to maybe the easy route of just like build a stair out here and here and then it's done. Like, all these decisions have been made very meticulously, which I really like. And the fact that you've expanded and made a decently functional base overall to now, like, it's also like epic at the same time. Like, everything is adding to this base. I haven't seen one thing that I'm like, that's not necessarily necessary. Like, it all looks really cool. You've got a circular chandelier, and now you've doubled down, and you have these like circular structures on the inside to hold all of your storage and your functional stuff. So somehow the design has been improved tenfold, and you've also made it more interesting in the function as well. And you've kind of kept the things that were the best of the overall base, and you've just improved and improved and improved. And I really, really like the like dedication to this like heart design as an interesting piece, where it's now an entrance in like every way. And then the fun you're having with this upper space, with the light up bar and everything, it just looks so good. It's like perfect that it turned to night right now, because it shows how much you've improved the lighting overall in the whole thing. And you're taking, like, even the chandelier from downstairs is totally different than this chandelier. And so it's really, really good improvements. Like, overall, the first base was like a 3.5 or a 4 just because it wasn't done. So it's hard to really be critical of a base that you still obviously were putting a lot of effort into and you wanted to add a lot to. And now getting to, like, revisit it, like, everything that could be improved has been taken to that next level, which hopefully is some of my comments, hopefully is inspiration from the rest of the build community that we've been showing off, because they are really cool, really, really well done. I don't even know if I can just give it a score, because we already did essentially on the first go around, but if I had to say, you took it from like a 3.5, 4-ish to like, this is a 6 or 7 out of 5 with no hesitations. Like, the improvements are so good, and like you still have so much room to build here, which I think is really cool. Like, and you're expanding, you're not just building a building or a structure. Like, you've made an epic entrance, you're making a wall, like a fortified wall to go around the entire thing. Like, it's really turning into like a true mega build. And it's not the hardest thing with mega builds and getting to this sort of scale is like keeping the detail up throughout the whole thing, because that's where I think a lot of the larger mega builds fall short, is they never hit that level of detail that's like, wow, this isn't only massive, it's every single piece of it is interesting. Everything is done so intentionally now, whereas like the original had some really good potential, and you found all of the potential, and now it's like, I have no negative comments or critiques of any kind to make at this point, other than finish building and keep adding, because I want to see the wall all the way around the outside done. continue, like, find interesting little spaces for these things as well. Like, start filling in some of these cool spaces that you've created. I just want to see, like, I don't know, these little armory spaces. Are these, are they more like little hangout spaces? I think one thing you could do that I notice, I guess if I was giving any critiques, is your towers on the outside are missing this level of detail that you have everywhere else. So I definitely think that the kind of up and down vertical spaces that you're using for moving throughout the base are on the outside really interesting, but now just continuing, like, finding more use than just stairs, I think, in these spaces could be really interesting. Or is it just more detail? Is it hand railings? Again, the lighting in these spaces, you've knocked everywhere out of the park. I could very easily see these towers, like, glowing the same way that, like, this stuff does. Or how your whole entrance, or all the mushroom pieces, like, you can see at night. Like, I want to see all of this in these towers as well. So this, because I think that's what one of the coolest things and of the whole base is, like, there's ins and outs of the whole thing. There's a lot of perforated or, like, windows and stuff, but that makes me want more lighting to, like, utilize all these spaces so everything kind of shines out. And then, like, you could start lighting these up as well and sort of continue this, like, the interesting lighting that you've got going on throughout all of this stuff. Just bringing in some of these colors as well. Not that you're probably already intending on some of these things, but that's kind of the places I would improve upon would be maybe these towers, just to add a little more detail, because, I mean, everything else is flawless at this point. These are really interesting little spaces you've created and designs that I'm a really big fan of. I would say, honestly, congratulations. Like, you've done a phenomenal job updating this base. I'm really, really impressed with what you've done here. So yeah, that's I'd double your score easily. I knew you had a lot of work to do, and you were not even close to done. So it's really cool to see how far along this space has come. It's really, really well done at this point, and it obviously is only gonna get better and better from here. But yes, thank you, Ace. Thank you for letting us re-review this one and see all these incredible improvements you made, because I'm blown away again. Everyone tonight, the detail work, everything is just so well done. Everyone's killing it. Really impressive. Really, really impressive changes. All right. That's going to wrap up this round of amazing base reviews. If you'd like to be featured in a future episode, make sure to reach out to me on Discord. Send me your Xbox username, and I'll add you to the review list so you can share your world with me when it's your turn. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next round of amazing community base reviews. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.